Hello, GW sports fans. I'm Richie Wright reporting for GW TV's Unstoppable, and we just witnessed a thrilling finish to a game that resulted in a 68-39 victory for GW against George Mason. This improves them to 5-9 in conference play, and it's their fourth consecutive win for the team, ending their conference play on a high note. GW had their foot on the accelerator during the first half, and it did not slow down at all in the second. They played smart and aggressive on both sides of the ball, forcing lots of turnovers, getting all sorts of rebounds and steals. George Mason, on the other hand, remains winless against conference opponents. They looked uncomfortable for most of the game, and they were under lots of pressure by GW's defense. But on their offense, they also were rushing passes and making some careless mistakes that aided GW's victory this afternoon. The third quarter was interesting because George Mason was shut out for the first 6 minutes of the second half, where GW went on a 9-0 run. It took until a free throw to break through the drought on offense for George Mason, and then they went on a 7-0 run to close out the third quarter. Then the fourth quarter saw plenty of action on both sides, and players on GW were doing fantastic throughout that final quarter. You had Whitney with 9 points and 6 steals, and early in the third quarter, she had a thrilling buzzer beater three-pointer to extend GW's lead. You also had freshman Brigham with several points and rebounds as well, and she did a fantastic job closing out her conference play in her first season. You also had other players like Loader with several steals, and she had a great faked three-pointer before driving in to finish an easy shot against George Mason. Nikitanayati was on fire in the fourth quarter with 5 three-pointers as she entered another level late in the game. This was 14 three-pointers for her season, which is a season high for GW. And you also had senior Zambrata with a three-pointer late in the game, a big score for her during her senior game. Turnovers are a big factor as well throughout. GW forced 6 of them in the third quarter, extending their lead early on in the second half. And at one point, GW had 19 turnovers, which was more than the points scored by George Mason in the middle of the third quarter. And by the end of the game, it was 26 points to 3 points in favor of GW on points scored off of turnovers, showing just how much turnovers played a factor in deciding this victory. Looking ahead, GW could be the 9th, 10th, or 11th seed for the A10 tournament, depending on other results in the conference. Play begins in mid-March, and we look forward to seeing what the team can do as they enter the tournament.